They monitor your letters, they monitor your calls, they monitor your footsteps, they monitor it all. Incarceration of a generation, exploitation through legislation, domination through privatization, dehumanization, dehumanization. We are the chain link nation, trapped in our own foundation, breaking the bars of the station, screaming against damnation. Cages built on profit and fear, cages built on profit and fear, cages built on profit and fear. Are you listening?
I just realized that my mic has been muted this whole time, bro. Come on now. So everything I just said was not even heard. That's tough. Anyways, with that being said, what I was saying is sometimes you just gotta spank them and let them know, and not in the gay ass way that y'all be thinking. So y'all can see the title of this episode, this live, whatever you want to call it. We're going to be looking at Hodge Twins x Andrew Tate podcast that they did. I think I don't know. This video was uploaded like a month ago. So this should be interesting to check out. The title is called Hodge Twins and Andrew Tate have Black Fatigue Level 5. So this should be interesting to look at. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get this pulled on up here. Boom. 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 And you already know we got to change the speed. Playback speed a little bit. All right, let's get into it. 3, 2, 1, let's go.
Black people. Every time you look up, some Negroes arguing about something.
Well, you know,
Derek Penny. That whole situation.
oh yeah, that was incredible. That was incredible. And it's. I'll be honest. One of the things that's amazing to me, because I am American. I lived here till I was 8, and then I grew up in England, and then I moved all around the world. What's kind of amazing to me about the American consciousness is that they have this huge preposition with racism. And they seem to think this is a racist country. Like, you motherfuckers haven't been anywhere.
Yeah.
Because this is the least racist nation on the planet. You think America's racist? Let me tell you where's racist. You know the most racist place? Africa.
Oh, yeah.
You ever been to Africa? You Hutu, you're Tutu, you're Boo-Boo. Like, they're fucking killing each other, they're having genocide. They all look the fucking same. They're pulling out machetes. Look at the Rwandan genocide. I couldn't even tell the two teams. They're running around fucking swinging blades. Bro, the whole world's fucking racist.
Killing each other over nothing.
Over nothing. Hutu, Tutu, your nose shaking.
Huge continent. You got all these black people. You got all these resources.
All they do is kill.
And they're probably the poorest continent in the world. They have no leadership, and their culture is just broken.
100%. And also, it's because Africa's rich that it's poor, which we'll talk about in a second. But America's the least racist place you find on the planet. You think China's not racist? You think Japan's not fucking racist? You think India's not racist with its caste system? You think Africa's not racist with its fucking genocides? Like, everywhere, even when I moved to England, the amount of racism I dealt with for being American. Like, I was American, they're like, oh, yank, oh, dickhead, school shooter. But it's like, watch out. But the thing is, I think it's funny.
Yeah.
But these people can't take a fucking joke.
Right.
Like, I love when people, I have the most diverse friend group, and our friendships are based on racism. Like, it's funny. It's funny. Like, I know a white guy who's loyal.
Right.
Fucking weird. But, like, we make fun of each other all the time. Like, racism is hilarious amongst a friend group.
Right.
But in America, everyone's so sensitive to it. It's insane, and they believe they live in a racist country. It's like, you need to go basically anywhere else. Go anywhere else, and you will see. And what's interesting is actually the countries, like Dubai, which I spent a lot of time in, the UAE, which is a super diverse country with 80% immigration. But the locals, the natives, they're above you. You can't fuck with the Gulf Arab in UAE. You can come and you can visit, and you can buy a nice house, and you can live there, and you can enjoy Dubai. But if you crash your car into an Arab, it was your fault.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. Like, there's no way out of it, right? So the whole world's fucking racist except America. And these people are constantly and endlessly crying. It's like so ungrateful almost. Well, it's ungrateful.
I think most of that comes from the black community, though. I think that's what's keeping racism alive in this country. Yeah, and the white liberal is pushing it too. It's on life support. Yeah.
Well, I think everyone's tired of it now, but they're going to keep trying to push it because it allows them to feel important for 5 seconds. So they're going to keep trying to push it.
Andrew, do you consider yourself to be African American?
Well, there's times. I'm like a day walker. I swap in and out. It depends.
Right,
you know? Like I had an auntie. She's black, and she talks like a white woman until she gets mad. Then she's Jamaican.
Yeah. Definitely.
That's like me.
Yeah.
Depends what mood I'm in.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm white, sometimes I'm black. Depends what mood I'm in.
Yeah.
But no, it's really interesting. And also, pattern recognition isn't racism. We need to make that very clear. Like, if I think of a pedophile, I imagine a white man.
Yeah, right.
And if I think of gang shooting, I imagine a black man. Call me racist, but that's just what I imagine, right?
When I think
you
of
imagine
tacos, I think of Latinos.
Well, that's right. Yeah, 100%. Build a wall. So, we got enough tacos. It's fine. We don't need any more. So,
if I walk into a restaurant, a Latino restaurant, and I see a bunch of Asians making tacos, I'm walking right out.
100%.
Yeah.
So racial stereotypes also exist for a reason, but now we're going to try and tell us that we have to ignore basic pattern recognition or it's racism. Right. And this is the point that's difficult, because I'll be completely honest with you. If I was Snow White and I was a police officer and I was in inner Chicago and it's 4 a.m. and I stopped a Toyota Camry and there's 4 black guys in it, and my partner got killed 2 years ago because of a Toyota Camry with 4 black guys in it, and they're not compliant, I'll be trigger happy. Now, to pretend he's not, that's pattern recognition.
Yeah, right.
That's
how you survive.
That's how you survive in the world.
Yeah.
The reason our ancestors survived is because we saw someone go try and pet the lion.
Right.
Got eaten. We're like, there's a pattern here.
Yeah.
You try. Oh, he died too. Okay, avoid the lion. Right. There's a pattern recognition. So what's interesting, what's so scary about this racism argument is it prevents people. I'll give you another example of this in a second, but it prevents people from acting appropriately, understanding that perhaps the world's not a perfect place. Perhaps it's never going to be fully balanced. So you need to understand when you are going to be deemed more of a threat. So if I was a completely black person in that Toyota Camry, I would say, this officer's intimidated guys. We would be on our best behavior.
Right.
Now, they'll say, I shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to lock your door at night.
Yeah.
But you do.
Right.
The world's not a perfect fucking place.
Right.
Unfortunately, but that's just how it goes. See, I never understood why people can't just act accordingly to the situations that they're in. I've heard a lot of people in my life say, "Oh yeah, man, I'm a black man in America. The police are out to get me." But the only reason why the police gonna be out to get you is if you got warrants, if you're wanted. Nowadays, I mean, are there some bad apples in the police department around the country? Of course, there's gonna be bad apples everywhere. Everywhere. You can't escape that. People have power trips. But what you can escape is the situation that you're in and whether or not it turns worse or it's not bad at all. And people just want to automatically assume that someone's out to get them. Like, dude, like I can't tell you how many times I've been around people that say that, and I just, bro, whatever. You just keep that shit over there, bro. Like for real.
No such thing as shouldn't have to.
Right.
I'm a big man. If I go and knock, let's say my car breaks down, and I go knock on someone's door in the middle of the night, I know that I'm scary. If a little girl knocks, they may open it. I'm going to be more intimidating. I have to keep that in mind. I'm not going to be at the door like they're trying to flex.
Yeah.
They're not going to fucking open it. You don't know the game you're playing.
Yeah, because white people, someone knocking on the door, they're like, I don't know this guy. This is probably a home invasion.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, and this get me in trouble, if you're a black person in the inner city and you understand how the inner city runs, when you're getting stopped by police, you should comply more than ever because you should understand perhaps it's unfair he has these preconceived notions. Perhaps it's unfair. Perhaps you're a great person. Perhaps, yes. But the world's not perfect.
Yeah. Right.
And thinking that the world is perfect and us trying to push this ideal version of the world where everyone ignores basic pattern recognition is bullshit and garbage. I'm more intimidated when I walk past 5 men. If I'm walking alone at night and there's 5 men on a street corner, I find that more scary than 5 women on a street corner. Am I sexist?
No.
No, that's fucking, I'm not a dumbass. I'm a realist.
Right.
I'm a realist. So this racism's gone so far now that we're disrupting the ability for people to be realists. So they're expecting a little white woman to walk past 5 big Negroes in the middle of inner city Chicago and be like, don't be racist, Jane. Don't be racist, Jane. Hi, fellas. Like, bro, you're gonna lose your handbag, at least.
Right. That doesn't bother me like if I'm getting into an elevator. This happened to us. We'll get in an elevator and it's just a white lady and she'll just back in the corner and just like grab onto her purse.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't blame you.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
I don't blame you at all.
But what's funny about it is they'll pretend that being intimidating is a terrible curse when it comes to something like a police stop, when they live their entire life trying to be as intimidating as possible.
Exactly.
You're standing a certain way, you're dressing a certain way, you're listening to certain music, you're fucking gangbanging. You want everyone to walk past you to know you're a real fucking G. You want everyone scared of you all the time. Except for when the cop gets scared and pulls his weapon, then it's like, whoa, what's the problem? You've been scaring people. You've been intimidating people your whole life.
Right.
You could have had a 3-piece suit on and a fucking little hat.
Yeah.
You've been fine. No, you're wearing a fucking Crip bandana. Why do you think I was a gangster?
Right.
But
Talking in Ebonics.
yeah, but it's bullshit. So all of this is done on purpose. This whole racism argument's gone way too far. As far as I know, black people and white people have basically the fair treat. I mean, the law applies to all of us. DEI actually gave black people a whole bunch of advantages over white people. So to sit here and believe that this is a racist country is completely ignorant. It's not a racist country. And you can succeed in this country if you, no matter what skin color you are, if you try your best and you conduct yourself the right way. And perhaps there'll be the odd scenario where you feel like you're being treated differently because of your skin color in a negative, but also you're not talking about all of the times you were treated in a positive because of your skin color. Perhaps because you're a big black man, you have problems in police stops, but you ain't got problems walking alone at night like a little white person does. So there's a bunch of times people are sitting there waiting to rob someone and goes, not him.
Right.
So you had the pros and the cons.
Right.
So you get the pros and the cons of these things.
That's life.
That's life. So
You
it's
gotta take advantage of the pros.
exactly. And just to go back on my point, because I mentioned it earlier, and I just want to wrap it up. I said about how Africa's poor because it's rich. I watched a really interesting study. You should watch it. It was about what makes the perfect nation. Because I was trying to build the perfect country in my mind. Like what would make the perfect nation? It was
That's another thing that people have for a habit of doing. When one bad thing happens to them, they forget about all the positive things that they have or all the positive things that they receive. They do, because then they just focus on the negative thing. And it's just like, bro, have you forgotten the things that you have received? Have you forgotten all the good things that have come your way just because of one bad thing? Come on now. And then they just all of a sudden think that the whole world's out to get them. It's called a victim mentality mindset.
talking about if you started from zero, how would you have the richest, most prosperous, perfect country? And it said the countries with the best weather are countries like England and Netherlands, because you want it to be a little bit rainy, you want to be able to have agriculture, and you don't want people to have too much fun for free. Like in Thailand, they ain't got to be rich. They just go to the beach, get coconut. They're living good. In England, you got to have a Ferrari and a mansion, you're still depressed.
Right.
So you work very hard, you pay a lot of taxes. There's a whole bunch of things involved with it. But it said that if you have a complicated social societal structure, natural resources makes your country richer. So like Norway is very rich. They have oil and a bunch of natural resources, but they have a complicated social structure. So they dig the oil up, and that money goes to the Norwegian Sovereign Wealth Fund, which goes into the stocks and bonds and the gold ETFs, and it's all tracked online, and they're a very rich country. Africa's super rich, but they don't have complicated systems. So what happens there is that they discover cobalt. The problem with natural resources is it doesn't require society to get the value of it. So if you have a country that builds jet engines, you now need factories, which takes workforce, which need houses, which need universities, which need schools, which need hospitals, which needs roads. So you have to build all this infrastructure around it to produce these jet engines. If you find cobalt, you just got to dig it up out of the ground. So Africa's problem is that it's so rich, they don't have these complicated structures. So what happens is they find cobalt, the dictator gets a deal from outside, usually the West, to get money into his pocket. They send a few soldiers and a few kids to go dig it up. They take all the cobalt out, it goes straight to the West. The dictator gets rich. None of the African people get rich. None of the African nation gets rich. They don't build anything, and the cobalt's gone. The West is rich. Dictator goes to Dubai. Boom, done. So Africa's biggest problem is that it's actually so rich in resources that it's held back by how many things it has. If it didn't have any resources, they could build things and put it all together and start building jet engines, but they don't, because they're like, look, we found something interesting here. Dictator gets rich, few of the elites get rich, and the average person gets fucked. It's kind of unfair. But that's the African
stupidity.
story.
Do you think that's? I'm going to sound like a white supremacist when I say this.
I know what you're gonna say. Don't even say.
Do you think that's genetic? But come on, man.
Byron Daniels is after me. Byron Daniels. No, but let's think.
Well, let me take that back. It's
No.
not genetic. It's culture.
Yeah, I mean, but culture on a long enough time frame is genetic.
Yeah.
This is the problem.
Yeah.
So like, if when white people, you know what I love? If you watch on Twitter, it's actually the best argument. It's so fun. The race realists, the super racists, who say like black people are genetically different to white people and you're more violent and all this shit. They always attack me on Twitter and call me mulatto and all this shit. It's so funny. And I read all their shit. I read all their shit. I read all the race realism stuff. And I'm kind of sitting there going, kind of agree with some of it.
Yeah.
They're saying black people are more naturally violent. I'm like, you're damn right. Watch out. But that's right, pussy. But culture on a long enough time frame becomes genetics. I mean, let's be honest. Is the average African as smart as the average Westerner? No. I would argue that if you go to the Central African Republic, where they don't have schools and they don't have infrastructure, and their parents haven't been to school and their grandparents haven't been to school, that probably they're not as smart as somebody who's their entire bloodline's been university educated. Probably that is true. So after a long enough time frame, it becomes genetic, and then you want to take enough of them and dump them over here and expect them to operate within complicated systems they don't fully understand. They're probably just going to say, "Fuck it, let's rob the store," and then you have. I mean, this is realism. This is realism.
Yeah, because you look at Africa, it's a continent, it's not a country, but if that was a country like the United States with the resources they got, the manpower they have, it would be a superpower.
It should be
the biggest superpower.
It should be a superpower.
But this little United States, majority is white, is running the world.
Well, white people are the best at building complicated systems. That's what the white people do best.
Yeah.
I mean, like my camera guy who's off. There he is. Look at him. Look at him.
White
right?
guy.
These are the people who, in 1960s in NASA, when they did Apollo 11,
yeah.
all them motherfuckers, there was like 20,000 of them, little white guys with glasses and pieces of paper and a pen, and they put something on the moon.
Yeah.
You get 10,000 black people in a room, tell them to achieve anything.
Dude, that was so wrong. But factual.
How long till there's a fight? Shaniqua's jumping in. She's we're more family orientated. We're more clan orientated. Right?
Yeah,
you know,
we're
like,
tribalistic.
We're tribalistic, which is a pro and a con. Again, these are pros and cons, but if you want to extrapolate it out towards a nation state, the thing the white man is best at is working with people he doesn't know. That's a white man's superpower. A white man will go, hello, I've got a bunch of money, and I want to build boats. I've decided I want to build boats. So I'm going to go and find the best boat builder. John Smith, hello, boat builder. I don't know you, you don't know me. This is called a contract, and let's do a contract, and you're going to build the boats, and I'm going to pay for it. And now we have a successful shipping company. In Africa, it doesn't work that way. They're like, I'm rich, I want boats. Who do I know? My cousin.
Yeah.
My cousin can't build boats. He doesn't know anything about boats, but that's who I know. He's the only guy I trust. He's in my clan. He's my family. So I go to my cousin. You're in charge of the boats. Okay, I will build the boats. And he takes the money, and then no boats get built, and everything's fine. That's why the finance minister is the second cousin of the fucking president, and nobody knows anything, and it's all insidious because you only trust your people. Now, I'm still like that now. I'm black enough like that now. I trust my brother, my people.
Yeah.
So I got that black in me. But I'm also white enough to know I can do a contract and get a boat built. But white people are fantastic at trusting people they don't know. That's why white people are like howdy neighbor. They don't even know you. Howdy. White people have this weird. No, it's not weird, but the white people mentality is far more attributed towards the benefit of society with a larger understanding of working with those they're not directly correlated with. Whereas the black people is like, these are my people only. And it's very insular. But it becomes far more difficult to run a country that way with competence. If you want to run a country competently, you need to find the most.
You know what's funny? I've known people in my life on both sides of what he's talking about. I've known people who sit there and will literally yell at you from across the street whenever you get home, waving, asking how your day was, and all this, that, and the third. And I've known other people who sit around and, oh man, I don't mess with nobody but my family type stuff. You know, it's it's funny because whenever you listen, when you know both people on both sides, listening to Tate talking about this right now, you just can't help but think about it because you know it's true and it's funny.
Competent man for the job.
Right.
I don't know if this is true. I don't want to be held up on it, and I don't want to be attacked for it. It might not be true, but I heard something that when the British start sailing their ships around, they were amazed that when they got to all these native countries, the Aboriginals in Australia and Africa and India, all these places, no one had heard of a contract. No one had heard of the idea of working with someone who wasn't their family. They're like, it's a contract. They haven't heard of a contract. No one had heard of it. So what? You just find anyone to do
even
it?
heard of a house. They was living in grass huts.
Well, that's right. So they were like
Savages.
Yeah. Well,
Have you seen those videos of them eating? Hey, pull up
It's
that,
the
Joe.
year 20.
Joe,
It's
pull
the,
up those TikTok videos of these African tribes.
Byron, I'm sorry. Listen, I know you got busted for weed. Fucking talk about letting the black man down. For busted for fucking weed.
check fraud.
Andrew Tate's human trafficker. You know, fuck this guy. I'm moving to Vegas. Fuck these people. Bring your case. Fuck you.
Yeah, make it bigger, Joe. These people have not evolved at all for like probably 5,000 years. Imagine being a white man back in the slave days. Say, yeah, we'll take these.
All right, so let's talk about this now.
Yeah.
We're going down race realism. And you know, we're the only people brown enough to get away with this, so we can do it.
Oh, we're not gonna get away with this shit.
But let's talk about it, right?
Yeah.
So the white man, where he grew up, primarily, they had to plan ahead in a way different than the Africans did. So like if you were in England, you had to grow grain because that's how you eat. But grain only grows a certain part of the year. So you have to think ahead and you have to plan. You have to plow the field. Then you have to grow the grain. Then you got to build buildings to store it in. And that means you need a lot of people. A lot of people need schools, hospitals, roads, housing. Now you need a city. You have to
Infrastructure.
plan everything over a year cycle just to have food. In Africa, they didn't have to do that. Mango. Boom. They just go get mango when they're hungry.
Yeah.
Go kill this. They had so much resource, they didn't have to plan ahead. Wait till you're hungry, kill something, eat it. You didn't have the same infrastructure that was required to eat.
Yeah, it gets cold in Europe.
It gets cold. You got to build a house. You need firewood. You got to think ahead. You apply that across 1,000 years. You have a very different mentality towards life than you do in Africa, which is just pure brutal survivalism. That's what it is.
I've heard that argument because of the weather, white versus the white man and the black man. Both races evolved differently over time because living in a cold, horrible climate, you got to think.
Yep.
And you live in a warm environment, you just get up, take a shit,
Yeah.
and these niggas.
That's right. That's right. And you're good.
Yeah.
So this is it. And then we also apply this to what I said earlier about the white man having to work with other people he doesn't particularly know. If you're going to go through all that work to build to grow grain, and you have to build a grain store, you don't want your grain to go bad. So you're going to find the best grain store company guy in the world, whoever he is, and you got to contract with him. You're going to learn to work with and get along with people you didn't particularly get along with, etc. Whereas Africans didn't have any of these problems, so they're far more clan based and clan oriented.
Tribalistic. You see that here in America. Like I used to be a private investigator. And I was watching people like insurance claims, right, back in the day.
So he's watching me. For Byron.
Yeah. So
Why am I giving Byron a hard time? Fuck Ron too. Fuck both of them.
Yeah.
Fuck Ron, little Ron.
Yeah. Right. So I was a private investigator, and they sent me to the black community. It was Watts. Nobody else wanted to go.
Yeah.
They said, you'll fit in. So the white man sends me there, and I'm there. I'm in that neighborhood maybe 2 minutes before everybody comes out like, who is this nigga?
Yeah, of course.
It's like, you see that tribalism that came from our evolution in Africa is here in America.
Oh, 100%.
You could just go into any black neighborhood, all black. Even if you're black, they're going to be looking at you crazy.
But this is the thing that's interesting because people at home don't understand.
Bro, I'll never forget one time this dude that I used to talk to years ago. He told me when he was visiting in LA, one of his homeboys, they went out skating. And this was back in like when skating was such a huge thing, when Tony Hawk was in his prime and whatnot. When he told me, not when he did this, but when he told me. They were skating down the street and they ended up taking a wrong turn. And they went through this neighborhood trying to get back to their hotel. And next thing he knew, because he had a red bandana, he seen a whole bunch of dudes coming out with blue bandanas hanging out their pockets and on their foreheads, just started chasing them down the street. Crazy, bro.
That the Matrix itself, the people who are in charge of the world, they find every innate action or every innate inclination that humans have, and they hijack it and Trojan horse it. So the natural tribalism that blacks have, they hijack and Trojan horse and use against us when a convicted fucking felon does some dumb shit he shouldn't have done, and and black people defend him anyway.
Right.
Because it's tribalism, right?
Right.
They'll stick up for him anyway. The
Right,
liberals are
yeah.
actually very tribalistic. It's very interesting that if a conservative is accused of something, not even convicted, will self-cannibalize. Whereas if a liberal's accused of something, no one gives a fuck. If he's convicted, no one gives a fuck. If he did it, there's a fucking video, no one gives a fuck. The liberals don't care. The liberals will accept a criminal into their team if it helps them, no problem. Us conservatives, the moral high ground, will fucking self-cannibalize over an accusation all day long. It's pathetic.
Right.
But they do this with everything. They Trojan horse all things. So if you're in charge of the world and you want to get an objective done, these people are not stupid. They literally rule the world. They'll sit there and go, okay, we want to convince people that if they pay more taxes, the sun will stop being hot. So how do we do this? Well, this is a pretty hard argument to get across. So
He said the sun will
basic.
stop
Like
being
trees?
hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like trees. Do you like the oceans and the fish? Do you want to destroy the whole world?
No.
No, I don't want to destroy the whole world. All right, then we're going to put up your taxes. So they take your natural. So they take your natural
You gotta be a dumb
inclination.
fuck to believe it.
Yeah. So they take your natural inclination to like nature, and they Trojan horse it. They put in Trojan horses. Another one's tolerance. Oh, we're Christians. Yeah, you're tolerant, right? You're not horrible people. You're tolerant. You understand other people. You're tolerant. Yeah. Okay. Here's a drag queen. Whoa. So that's what they do. They take your natural inclinations and they sneak in these Trojan horses with everything all the time. So the tribalism of the black people is being used against them when they're sticking up for fucking dickhead pieces of shit. No other race does this, by the way.
Right.
If a white man had a rap sheet as long as his arm and murdered someone, white people wouldn't be like, oh, stick it
Right.
up. White people don't even stick up for themselves. So let's forget that. Asians, whatever. But black people will be like, no, still. Like the way they attack Daniel Penny, it's like that motherfucker been harassing people in the subway forever. And he's doing his shit Michael Jackson moves or whatever the fuck. It's like one day.
That's why I call it black fatigue.
Yeah, people are just tired of this.
Yeah.
But the black tribalism just rallies around them. And then you add in a little bit of money because all these fucking people manage to somehow pay their bills. How do you pay your bills when you're marching for black people all day?
Yeah.
Try it.
Yeah.
Go out there and march. Go out there and march. March all day. Go just decide, you know what? I'm super passionate about this issue. And go start marching all day. You'll soon learn you have nowhere to fucking live. These motherfuckers are in a mansion pushing Escalades with private security.
Right.
You add in US aid money, and all of a sudden you have these huge fucking movements.
Yeah.
And it's not just in America. This is what the American state has been doing globally all around the
All
world.
over the world.
This is how they did the Ukraine-Russian war. They sit there and go, how do we make people who are so ethnically close, so ethnically aligned, who look the fucking same, who speak the same language, who've lived next to each other for eons, who grew up on the same TV shows, who share the same history, how do we make them hate each other? Well, what we need is we need a 20-year campaign of pushing Ukrainian independence, that Ukraine's actually a separate country to Russia. And we need to push the Ukrainian language. And we need to change the Ukrainian TV stations and make them different from Russia. We need to cut off the Russian news. We need to push this idea that Ukraine has always been subjected to abuse from Russia and that they're abused people. And then we need to find the nationalists inside of Ukraine who believe that Ukraine should be a standalone place. Then we need to promise them that when Ukraine is a standalone place, they'll be the kings of it. Then we need to make all of them rich and give them loads of money. And on a long enough time frame, you end up getting enough hatred and sentiment that you get the fucking war you want.
Right.
It's all done on purpose.
Right.
All of these things are Trojan horse. So when they sit there and go, we want a war between these two countries, they'll go, okay, let's find and infiltrate the nationalistic aspect of this one. Or same with the fucking sun being hot. Let's find a motherfucker who likes trees. Let's offer him a bunch of money, get him to walk around. And people are deliberately ignorant for a bag. Like I'll be honest, like you take the average black person and say, look, just say black people are oppressed. Look, here's some money.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. People are pretty empty. Don't you remember being a child thinking adults are smart?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
I used to actually look up to politicians.
I usused to look up to grown-ups.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a grown-up. Turns out they were all
Used to look up to politicians is crazy work, bro. Crazy work. I ain't never looked up to no politician before, bro. That's crazy.
fucking retarded the whole fucking time. And it's like everyone's a fucking dipshit. Everyone's
Right.
fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Everyone will do anything for a fucking paycheck.
Yeah.
Everyone's a fucking liar. Everyone's self-interested. And the only kind of smart people that exist are the people like me who at least understand what I am.
Right.
Like, I don't deny these things. I'll sit here and go, the reason I'm better than these motherfuckers is because they don't even know they're those things. I'll self-analyze and go, I am self-interested. I'm a person who's going to try and do things for his own self-interest. I'm a person who's going to try and benefit himself. So I can at least check myself because I know the game I'm playing. These other motherfuckers are so dumb, they don't even know the game they're playing. So they really believe they're saving the trees or saving the black man while getting fucking paid to march around all day. It's a fucking setup.
Yeah,
Idiots are the enemy, guys.
Yeah.
Idiots, dumb people, you know, like stupid people or weirdos or nerds, all these people that in school used to get bullied and picked on. I guess maybe that was God's way or natural selection to just keep them in their fucking place.
Survival of the fittest.
As soon as they get any power, look what they fucking do. Look at the theater kids. When the theater kids got their asses whooped, it was fine. Now they're called the Democrats and they're fucking destroying society. We need more bullying. We need the bullies back.
Yeah.
Have you ever, this is a true story. I changed school a lot when I was a kid because I moved around. You know when you watch movies and someone goes into the new school and they see the nerd being picked on and they go and get to know the nerd and the nerd's really a cool guy? Have you ever tried to get to know a nerd? Because after like 5 minutes, you're like, I get why they pick on you. A weird kid. You join a new school, they're like, don't talk to him, he's weird. I'm like, leave him alone. No, he's fucking weird, he's a fucking loser. I'm like, guys, there's like 6 of you, fucking leave him alone. I gotta talk to him for 5 minutes. I'm like, fuck that nigga. Like,
Hey, sometimes it really be like that, bro. Sometimes it really be like that. It is goofy. I can't tell you how many times I done seen, you know, when I was younger. I had to have been like 9, 10 years old. Some other kid getting picked on, whatnot. And I go over there and I start talking to the kid, you know, chopping it up, whatever. And next thing I know, this kid's over here talking about the goofiest things, and it's just like, okay, yeah, never mind, bro. I'm cool.
it is weird.
And then you regret it because the next day they start trying to hang out with you, and they just continue to keep trying to hang out with you, and it's just like, stop, bro, stop.
Most of these people deserve what they get.
Yeah, I remember we had this friend. I'm not gonna say his name. Remember, bleep this out. GB Hopkins. Remember him?
Yeah.
Like he was a weird guy. He got all A's, but he was weird. Nobody talked to him. So me and Kelvin, I think it was like 6 of us. Let's go talk to him. They're picking on him. So we hang out. He said, "Hey man, won't you guys come over today so we can play?"
Yeah.
Right. So we go to his house, and he calls his dog in. He starts jacking his dog off.
Wow.
And then we look at each other like, "How about kick your ass?"
It's like these.
I know y'all heard what I just heard, and I hope that it's not a true story. So this dude, this kid, when they were in school, a little nerd kid, who was a straight A student, but nobody talked to him. They went over there and started chopping it up with him. Went over to his house. He said for some reason he have a cleaning effect on weirdos. Bro, I don't know. But this dude said that when him and his brother were younger in school, that they was chopping it up with this nerdy kid who had straight A's because nobody talked to him. They went over to his house to hang out, and this kid brought his dog inside and started. I'm not even gonna finish it, bro. I'm not even gonna finish it. That is crazy.
Weird kids.
Right.
They end up there. It's not an accident.
Right.
You know? So like it's kind of natural selection, but I guess now they're all allowed to run for office. I see these fucking Democrat politicians doing these fucking thought ass TikToks. You know, what was it? It was
Jasmine
Trump.
Crockett.
Bro. It was Trump's State of the Union. When I saw his State of the Union and I saw them holding up the signs like, you know, Elon pay his taxes and shit, I was sitting in a cigar bar with Tristan and Roger Stone, who's a G. And I was watching the State of the Union. I said, in no sensible country on earth could Donald Trump be standing up there telling the truth and some fucking retard be in the same room heckling him.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of fucking country even is this now? Like, who are these people? You've achieved nothing. Who are you to sit with your fat ass? You can't even calorie sitting there on a chair insulting Elon with your fat ass. You can't even calorie control. Sitting there on a chair insulting Elon, who's putting rockets in space, saving humanity.
Satellites.
And you're sitting there going, with your sign, thinking you look good. How hubristic and stupid and arrogant do you have to be to sit there after achieving fucking nothing?
They would have signed Elon Steele.
Yeah, eating Twinkies and then I'll get him. Like these people are fucking retards. In any real country,
Right.
in any sensible country, truthfully, if you had the richest man on earth who was in charge of innovating probably the most disruptive technologies on earth, in any real country, of course he'd be in government. He'd probably be the fucking president. He'd probably be in charge of absolutely everything. And there wouldn't be some fucking hippo heckling him from the crowd. He'd be the boss of anything. You think if Azerbaijan had the fucking richest man on the planet, who was the only person who could do things in space that nobody else could, and putting chips in people's brains, and the only person that could compete with China and their soon-to-be global hegemony when it comes to electric vehicles, and you had one man
He said, "Where's my Twinkies?" You stupid boy.
against the entire Chinese industrial base, and he's super rich. You have this one guy. You think you're gonna allow him to be heckled by some fucking nobody with a sign? In any real country, he'd be fucking lord. But here in America, we're like, fuck Elon, he's trying to save us money. Fuck Elon. Like, who are these people? Who the fuck are these people?
Yeah.
I swear, when my criminal case is complete, I'm gonna walk around, I'm gonna go to these protests, I'm just gonna say, who are you?
Yeah.
Tell me your life story. I'm very interested. Yeah. What have you achieved that compares to Elon Musk? Because you have a very strong opinion. Please tell me what you've done.
Yeah.
They're going to sit around and say that they've stood up for quote unquote human rights and they've stood up for abortion rights and all this, that, and the third. And really what that translates to is nothing. They have achieved nothing. They have done nothing. They're nobodies. That's what that translates to. And that's exactly what they would say. And then you'll sit there and laugh at them in their face and call them nobodies and everything else. Oh, dang, I didn't even know you were in here. Why your comment didn't pop up on here? Same dollar. Why your comment didn't pop? That's crazy. Anyways, my bad, man. With that being said, it's crazy. It's a crazy world we're living in. People sit around and think that going to a protest amounts to being a successful human being. People think that holding up a sign during a speech amounts to being a successful human being. It doesn't amount to anything, bro. It doesn't. Like, let's just be real. You have achieved nothing by holding up a sign. Congratulations. You want a cookie? Huh? You want a cookie for holding up your sign? Come on now. Education does not equal intelligence. You are 100% facts. Nowadays, back then it used to, but nowadays, no. Nowadays, education equals brainwashing into thinking that a dude can become female. And yeah, and it's not good at all. So with that being said, appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. I'm going to go ahead and call it here. I still got a few other things I got to do before the night ends. So make sure y'all share with your friends, your families, your mummies, your aunties, your grannies, and everybody else that y'all know. And we out of here, man. Deuces.